Now I know you're thinking, hey Vic, is that Clint Thomas? Are you really at Clint's Comics? I'll answer those questions by saying, yeah, buddy! Welcome to this week's edition of the Comic Hero Show. I'm your host, Victor Nunley, and I am the Comic Hero. And we're coming to you from Clint's Comics on Darbon Street in Monroe, Louisiana. If you don't know where that is, it's right next to Skinworks Tattoo, which is off of Desire Street, right across the street from ULM. Now, before I go on, y'all probably wondering, Vic, where have you been? Why haven't you done any episodes lately? Well, there were a few things that I had to change about the show, and also I got a little discouraged because in the last episode only one person watched episode 40. So I started having second thoughts about doing it, but then there were folks pulling on and saying, "No, Vic, you got to do the show. You got to keep doing it." It was just a bad day. And they're right. Now I would normally kick off every episode of the Comic Hero Show with the segment called "What's Going On." This episode, I'm going to bring back a segment I haven't done in 9 episodes. The name of that segment is Any Questions? So Clint, how long has Clint's Comics been open?
It's been open for 22 years.
Oh, 22 years.
Wow.
Wow.
A long time.
Yeah, probably about 10 or 11 when you opened up. Okay, so I can remember the first time that I came here.
When was
It was actually 14 years ago. It was in 2000. I had gotten done with classes at this other university I went to. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I went to Tech. I was a student at Tech from 2000 to 2003. In my first quarter at Tech, which was the fall of 2000, I was done with classes and we didn't have marching band that day. So I drove to Pecolin Mall, hoping that this other comic book store was going to be open. I'm looking around and said, "Where'd it go?" And so I went to Walden Books when it was there.
Yeah.
And I asked what happened to it. You see, and then one of the folks that worked there said, "Oh, it closed down last year." And I'm thinking, what? And so they referred.
Back in '99.
Yeah, so they referred me to you, and I came here and I thought, oh yes, definitely. So I've been a customer over here for a little over 14 years, and Clint, I always enjoy coming over here every week. Oh, okay, so what comic?
I appreciate you doing that.
Oh, absolutely. So, what comics do you like to read? Like,
Me?
yeah,
I collect horror comics.
oh, awesome.
I like Cross, Walking Dead. Those are my 2 main ones. But I also like this new one called Tales of Terror from Zoom.
Oh, okay.
It's been awesome.
Oh, yes. By
As far
the
as superheroes go, sometimes I do Batman, Spider-Man, but I haven't been collecting them lately.
oh, okay.
I like the Image also.
Yeah, For all you don't know, Image has been an indie label for a little over since 1991, and so Clint, tell us about some of the books from Image that you like to read.
Well, my main one would be Walking Dead, of course, but then you think about it, the main thing I've been collecting was dang it, man, I can't remember the name of it. Something new that just came out, Wake or something like that.
Oh, okay.
It's a cool book there. Let's see here. I like Image stuff, man.
Yeah.
Image is cool.
Yeah.
I could, let me see this right.
Oh, by the way, one of the first books
I'm always working on what I collect and what I don't collect. Like,
yeah, Clint, I do the same thing. I've been for in the near 17. Yeah, the near 17 years I've been collecting comics, I have a checklist for every individual book in a spreadsheet of my entire collection.
see if I can find a name
But ladies and gentlemen, Image, one of the first characters.
Thief of Thieves. Yeah, I like that, man.
Which one?
Thief of Thieves.
Thief of Thieves.
Yeah, that's a cool one. It's called Fade Out. That's what it is.
You heard it right here from Clint Thomas.
Fade Out. I like that one. That's a brand new one. I think only second issue's out on that. And it's a real cool detective type story. Where the main character is caught up in something that he didn't do, but it looks like he did.
Oh, okay.
Type thing, and he's been, and it's totally what's happened is totally throwing him off because now that he's in the middle of it, he's discovered that the cops and everybody else has things going on with it, and he's like the good guy, but everybody else is seeing him as the bad guy. And they're the cops, so he's looking bad.
Okay.
I don't want to give another story away.
Oh, no, you're not giving anything away, but, well, Clint, that's it. That's it. I'm not the comic hero you are. No, I'm just kidding. But, ladies and gentlemen, Image Comics, one of the first...
a lot more comics than I do, also. I've been keeping mine down to less than 10 a month.
Oh, okay.
That's why I'm being picky.
Oh.
But that's I like to collect just what I read.
Oh.
I like to read what I'm collecting anyway.
Yeah, I pretty much do the same thing, but except I kind of have a, because with me, I'm kind of picky too, because I only read DC and Marvel. Although I have been thinking about reading other labels, like IDW and Image. But ladies and gentlemen, Image Comics, for those of you who don't know, Spawn was one of the first characters to appear in Image Comics back in 1991. And of course that was created by comic book legend Todd McFarlane, who also, before that, used to pencil issues of Spider-Man. Alright, that's it for any questions. Now normally I would do, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and do it. Coming up next is my segment called Comically Speaking, so without further ado, let's talk comics!
He has a web comic series.
Yeah, that's right. Alright, the first topic on Comically Speaking is the Green Lantern New Gods story arc that's happening in DC. Now, after visiting the Source Wall, which is at the edge of the universe, the New Gods have found out that there was a lot of power in all the rings that are worn by all the lanterns throughout the universe, whether you be red, orange, yellow, blue, green, or indigo or violet. So the New Gods start going all throughout the universe, and they start, well, taking the rings from other lanterns, and either that or they killed them, then they took their rings, although they really didn't want to kill them. And so the Green Lanterns, and then worst of all, one of them, Orion, who happens to be one of the New Gods. By the way, the New Gods were characters that were created by the late great Jack Kirby in the early 70s for DC. And Orion arrives on planet Mogo. Now, Mogo is the only Green Lantern who is also a living planet. Well, Orion ends up taking the ring from Mogo, and then all of a sudden he's in a catatonic state. He cannot talk, he cannot move. Just about everything is dead. All the water is gone on planet Mogo. So the Lanterns decide to resort to Court, in the Anti-Matter universe, where Sinestro previously was before moving to New Kurgar. And a lot of things happen, and and then Kyle Rayner, who is the White Lantern, well, the Allfather, who is the leader of the New Gods, decides to make a deal with them if he returned to New Genesis with them. So, but what turned out to be a deal ended up being a double cross. As not only did Kyle Rayner help control, the Allfather helped Kyle control the power of the White Lantern, which is the life equation. He also well, he also took the ring from him, and he also took Carol Ferris's ring. So right now they're right below New Genesis with No Way Out. And then meanwhile, Guy Gardner, who is now the leader of the Red Lanterns, he and Simon Baz, who is currently the Green Lantern of Earth, had decided to travel to New God using Cyborg's boom tube. Now, keep in mind, Cyborg has had a boom tube ever since Darkseid nearly killed him in the second issue of the current Justice League series. And so they traveled. So Baz and Gardner traveled to New Genesis, and he tried to land on somewhere quiet, or somewhere where you didn't think there was anyone around. Lo and behold, he ended up landing them right in one of the New Gods' bedroom. Yeah, that's very interesting. And then there's about 2 other issues that have come out since then. Sinestro number 7 and Green Lantern number 37. I've yet to read those, but as soon as I know more, I will let you know in the next episode. Now, in Spider-Man, in the Marvel Universe, Spider-Man, the Spider-Verse story arc. Now, keep in mind, this all gets started when Morlun, the character who had seemingly killed Spider-Man in the pages of all the Spider books 10 years ago, well, he comes back, and he's not alone. This time, he has his brothers, his sisters, and his father to help, to pretty much help. They go throughout the every timeline, every reality, and kill off every Spider-Man with the exception of a few. Now, and currently there are about somewhere between 20 to 30 different versions of Spider-Man from different Earths, and it's up to our Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man, Peter Parker, and also from the past, or from the not so distant past, the Superior Spider-Man, who is Peter Parker, by way of Dr. Otto Octavius. So they're leading teams to stop Morlun and his family from killing all the spiders. So it's pretty much a survive and advance kind of scenario. All right, that's it for Comically Speaking. Now, let's get to the comics that I'm about to buy for this week.
Comic books I bought this week.
Up first is Green Lantern Corps number 37. Now, let me walk up here so y'all can see it. Now, this is a special alternate cover by comic book artist Darwin Cook. He's doing this in just about all the DC books this month in December. And what's been going on, as I just talked about in the previous segment, all the Green Lanterns and all the other Lanterns that are still standing are about to go up against the New Gods. But to go up against them, in a way, is kind of easier said than done. But hopefully they can get it together and kick some New Gardner butt. All right, up next is Guardians of the Galaxy Annual number 1. This pretty much talks about the Guardians going up against Nick Fury, or is it a life model decoy? Because you have to remember, Nick Fury seemingly died at the end of Original Sin. But no, actually, no, he didn't die in Original Sin. What happened? He merged with the corpse of Uatu the Watcher, who was actually murdered by Nick Fury. But the thing is this really Nick Fury, or is it an LMD? We'll find, and I will let you all know about what happens in the upcoming episode. All right, next few books are actually one title that I've been a little behind on, and that title is Avengers World. And some of the issues that I've been kind of behind on. These issues are Avengers World number 13, Avengers World number 14, Avengers World number 15, and this just came out yesterday, Avengers World number 16. Now, as you can see, this is a different team of Avengers. This isn't led by Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor. This is actually led by Doctor Doom, with some of the other members being U.S. Agent, Valkyrie, 3D Man, and a few others that I'm a little unfamiliar with. All right, up next is Amazing Spider-Man number 14. Now, I'm a little behind on this book. However, what I can tell you is that when I was last reading it, they were going up against the, they had to go up to Canada to stop all these Wendigos that keep coming up. Now, you see, that happened because because just about all the people in Canada ended up eating meat that was contaminated by Wendigos and ended up turning into Wendigos by themselves. Now, one character who turned into a Wendigo, sadly, is Wolverine. Now, I know at this point he's dead now, but this previous story arc that I talked about happened prior to his death, and the events that happened in his book that is now discontinued. All right, up next is Thor number 3. Now, this is the new series. This is not Odin's son. This is not Odin's son this is actually a mysterious woman who's a hammer deemed worthy of wielding, and now she goes around as the new Thor. Now the current Thor, or now the previous person who wielded Mjolnir, Thor Odin's son, he's a little discouraged, and he goes back to Asgard, or Asgardia rather, and ends up grabbing an axe, the axe Bjorn that he once used when he was a teenager and in his early 20s. And then also in the first issue, what happens? One of the frost giants who had escaped, Malekith, ends up cutting up Thor's left arm, and now he has to use a mechanical. And now he's using a mechanical arm. Yeah. But anyway, I'm a little behind on this book too. But as soon as I get caught up, I will let you know more. All right, up next is Avengers number 39. Now, you're probably noticing up here it says, in 5 months, time runs out. Well, Marvel finally let the cat out of the bag as to what they meant by that. They're talking about this new Civil War. I mean, not Civil War, but new Secret Wars. Now, the Secret Wars, the original ones took place back in the 80s and it involved every Marvel character that you could think of. Every Marvel character. And some of them went up against themselves, and some of them went up against Marvel characters from parallel Earths. Now from the previews that I've read about the new Secret Wars that are coming up, it's pretty much going to be the same thing, but it's not just going to be from a Marvel character from another Earth. They're also going to be Marvel characters from multiple Earths, kind of like Crisis of Multiple Earths, but with a Marvel twist. Sorry, DC. And finally, Avengers and X-Men Axis number 7. Now, there have been a lot of interesting things that have gone on. Now, when Doctor Strange and the Scarlet Witch had decided to use their magic to stop the Red Onslaught, now before I go on with this, let me explain how the whole thing with the Red Onslaught, how that all got started. You see, after Professor X was killed by Cyclops, who was under the influence of the Phoenix Force, the Red Skull decided to take it upon himself and dig up Professor X's grave and eat his brain. That's right, he ate his brain, and now he has all of Professor X's telepathic powers. And then in Uncanny Avengers number 25, Magneto had seemingly killed the Red Skull, but then instead of killing him, he unleashed the Red Onslaught. So the Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange decided to take it upon themselves to stop him. But in a way, the the residual effects of their spell ended up changing all the X-Men and all the Avengers who were on Genosha at the time, and now the X-Men are become even more unruly. Now keep in mind, this is Cyclops' team of X-Men, not that other team in New York, and then the Avengers are out to go after the X-Men and any Avenger who doesn't agree with them. Some awesome. There's some creepy stuff going on in this book, or as the late Johnny Carson would say, some weird, damaging stuff. All right, that's 10 I bought, which brings the total number of comics I bought since December of 1997 to 6,552. Well, I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, this comeback episode, and hopefully I'll be able to do a lot of episodes here at Clint's. Is that okay with you, Clint?
Definitely is.
All right.
I wanted to with that.
Yeah, you heard it right here from Clint Thomas. So every once in a while, I'm gonna do an episode here, and I may do a few episodes in my apartment, but but more than likely I'm probably gonna. That's what I'm gonna do, people. I'm gonna do 2 episodes here at Clint's Comics every month, and then 2 episodes in my apartment. And coming up, there's going to be another. It's going to be another episode where I'm going to be in North Little Rock, Arkansas, at the comic book store. And I hope you all tune into that. That's going to be episode 43. This episode right here is episode 41. Well, and I tell you, I'm so glad that I want to thank everyone who encouraged me to keep on doing this show, and because I really enjoy it. I mean, I just love it, and I just hope that y'all y'all love it too. So yeah. Well, anyway, I'm Victor Nunley. I'm the comic hero. I'm about to pay for these books. So I'll see you next week. Till then, be safe, be blessed, be a hero.